Hey everyone, welcome to the Itch and Scratch Show. I am your host, Shikha Singh. We are back with another episode this time, and guess what? It's all about fitness and mental well being. This guest is special because she is the first female guest on our show, and she's from Canada. Rajveer Kaur has been in the fitness industry for over a decade now. She is the co owner of a personal training studio in Mississauga, Ontario, here in Canada. Rajveer has been a true powerhouse in the world of fitness industry for over a decade. She has characterized herself as someone who is entrepreneurial but also driven with passion for everything that she does. Health and wellness is in her DNA, and Raji has been responsible for their transformations and prioritizes mental well-being over everything. She's here with a lot of tips for us and a lot of good suggestions on how to incorporate fitness into your busy life and also on tips on how to get your first pull up. So stay tuned. And she also has a big announcement at the end of the shows. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Itch and Scratch Show. I am Shikha Singh, and today we have our first guest from Canada. Welcome, Rajveer. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me today.
Okay, so Raji has been in the fitness industry for the last 10 years. She is into holistic wellness, strength and endurance training, and a lot of other stuff. And I'm so excited to have you at the show, Raji. And I'm so excited that you would be the first guest from Canada.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to talk to you.
All right, let's dive in. So I have a few questions for you, obviously around fitness, wellness, and I am obsessed with the way you are and the way you balance everything. So, my first question for you obviously is how has your journey been so far as an entrepreneur and as a woman, especially in the fitness industry?
Well, thank you. That's a great question. So starting off, being an entrepreneur in the fitness industry it's like embarking on a roller coaster. It's filled with highs and lows. The journey has been both rewarding and challenging. There are moments of doubt, setbacks, and honestly unforeseen hurdles. Beyond operational challenges, there are also personal struggles that came with the territory, such as long hours, managing stress, maintaining a work-life balance. It really can take a toll on your physical and mental well-being. However, this is really when these challenges that kind of where resilience took center stage. As an entrepreneur with the bigger picture in mind, I've always been driven by a sense of purpose. So each challenge I kind of overcame, whether operational or personal, kind of strengthened me and shaped me into a more resilient and determined business owner. Obviously, being a female in the industry was challenging for sure. When I first started, I think about almost 15 years ago, working out, there weren't that many females. There wasn't that many people to look up to. So being taken seriously, having also male clients, kind of making sure that they're taking my lead and they can trust me, making sure that I can get them the correct results. It took some time to definitely build up my reputation and kind of break those norms. And, anybody can be a fitness trainer or personal trainer, regardless of gender. So it's definitely challenging. But over the last 5 years, I would say there has been such an increase of the amount of women influencers there are online. So it's really amazing to see because now for a lot of new people that are starting their fitness journey, they have so many people that they can actually look up to as a female in the industry.
I look up to you. And like the
Oh, thank
first
you.
Yeah, the first time that I stumbled upon your profile on Instagram, I'm like, wow. First, she is a person of color. Second, she is so amazing at what she does. And I'm like, if you could do it, then I would definitely think
That's it.
about doing it.
Well,
So,
honestly, that's exactly why I started that fitness page. It was just to show people that I could do it. I was I was on the smaller side and I was just trying to build muscle. And as I started becoming stronger and started getting more definition and looking a certain way, I guess, for obviously, it is important in this fitness industry for you to be taken seriously, especially coming from the smaller side. My goal is always just to inspire other women like, hey, you could do it too. Nothing's
Yeah.
stopping you. You know, you can go into the men's section, lift the free weights. And it's so amazing to hear that, I've inspired you and I like you inspire me as well. That's amazing.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. But you brought up such a great point, Raji, and the I think I'm gonna touch on that. So walking up to the heavyweight section among 10 men and then deciding to do an exercise and to stick with the set. Wow, that how do you explain your clients and how do you inspire them to do that? Because I know when I first started going to the gym, I used to go to Orange Theory Fitness and then I
Hmm.
moved because that didn't fit with my schedule. So when I went to the gym, it was intimidating, to be
Yes,
honest. Like
for sure.
I've been working out for quite a while, but then when you walk there and like you're the only female on the floor and you're everyone's eyes on you, like, okay, what is she going to pick up or what is she going to do next? Is she going to screw up? I think that goes on in your mind more
Yes.
than the actual exercise, and that has a lot of effect. So
Yes.
how do you help your clients? Or
Honestly, I always encourage a lot of my personal training clients to go. And the number one thing I say is just number one, keep in mind that almost everybody is just like you, boy or girl. A lot of them are feeling the same thoughts that you're feeling, where they're like, oh, is somebody looking at me? Or, oh my gosh, what if I'm doing it wrong? You just have to feel confident, right? And I also, that's why a lot of my female clients come to me first. So I teach them and then they take those tools and techniques. So when they walk into that gym, when they walk into that free weight section, they're like, hey, I know what I'm doing and it's okay. And when you have that negative talk, honestly, I have it myself. Like, hey, somebody might be looking at me and I've been in the gym for 15 years. That negative talk, that negative voice can literally pop at any moment for anybody. The best thing to do is just remind yourself, like, hey, I'm here. I have just as much right as anybody else, boy or girl, to be here, get the job done. What is my goal? I'm going to focus on that. So whenever that little voice comes into your head, that's when you just remind yourself, for example, the positive benefits. Like, hey, last week I was lifting 5-pound dumbbells. This week I'm lifting 8. The only way I'm going to get stronger is if I continue coming back in this section, lifting heavier weights. And that's going to get me to my goal. And I think that the more you do it, the more confident you get and you realize no one's watching you really. And
true
the ones that
that.
really are, they really shouldn't, they really shouldn't be, and they should keep their eyes to themselves, to be honest, because the gym should be more of a supportive, inclusive community.
Yes.
And there are a lot of places that are inclusive like that. And I'm very glad that there's that space for people to go and just feel comfortable and work out. But yeah, that would be my number one tip is just go. You deserve to be there just as much as anybody else and just be confident.
That is so true. I love that. And I
Thank
feel
you.
like, yeah, I feel like the gym culture is changing so much these days. Like the gym bros, like I like to call them, will if
Yeah.
you're messing up, they'll just walk up to you and be like, "Hey, do you need any help?" In a good way, like not in a
Yes.
bad way,
Gym
but
bros or gym sisters, right? Gym sisters.
exactly.
Yeah. Hey, there's enough of us out there now that know what we're doing. So it's honestly, I always say, hey, do you mind if I help you? And then I always say, I am a personal trainer. A lot of the times I try not to go to as many people. I'm like, hey, they'll learn as well. But if somebody is really struggling or it
Yeah.
looks like they're gonna hurt themselves, I definitely go step in, but in a polite way where you're not putting anybody down?
True. Yeah, true. Okay. Um, some time ago, I did read a post on your profile that spoke about how you had ADHD or you were going through that phase. So I want to ask you, first of all, kudos because I've worked with people who have ADHD and just focusing on one thing for a long period of time gets very difficult and it's so hard to not shift and then
Hmm.
just be with your goal and your to-do list for the day, and sometimes that can become difficult. So my question to you, Raji, is how has being mentally and physically fit helped you with your ADHD?
Well, thank you so much. Honestly, that's a great question. So basically living with high functioning ADHD, most of my life was a journey of basically adaptation and discovery. I actually hadn't fully understood the role fitness played until recently when I came to terms with my diagnosis. So I had mentioned for my majority of my life, I was kind of masking it without even realizing. I just thought this was normal, that, hey, I have a little bit of trouble, but I can handle it. I know what to do. And I was mimicking other people and just so many things that I realized after that I was doing to mask it. So I've actually recently came into terms and I realized what a great role exercise has. Physically, staying fit has been a lifeline. So engaging in regular workouts has not only improved my overall health, but it also helped managing in my ADHD symptoms in ways I didn't realize. So for example, the release of endorphins during workouts, it provides a natural mood boost. So that helps regulate emotions and energy levels for people that do have ADHD. Also, following a consistent workout routine, it's been a game changer. The sense of order, organization, it kind of helps manage the chaos that sometimes accompanies people with ADHD. Mentally, one of the most remarkable changes that has been an improvement in my focus and concentration. So the mental clarity that I experience a post workout really helps me tackle tasks with renewed energy. Additionally, sleep has always been a challenge. I've always had insomnia, but regular exercise has helped me regulate my sleep patterns. So getting quality sleep is quite crucial for managing ADHD symptoms effectively. So definitely a lot of help from the form of exercising, and I didn't even know it. I was just doing it because I felt like it made me feel good, you know. But
Right.
there's so many mental and physical benefits towards
First of all, congratulations.
it.
I
Thank you.
know that is not easy. Everything that you mentioned, getting to that stage and then handling everything, not easy. So, congratulations
Oh, thank you.
for that. And then you just mentioned such a good point. I feel like all of us do that, masking something when you know it's there, but
Hmm.
it's just that you don't want to face it. You just don't want that to become your reality. So, you just be in that denial and you go on. I was exactly like that. I used to think I'm fit, but then I realized last year during November, December, I'm like, this is not how I used to look like before. But in my
Hmm.
head, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be fine. Skipping regular workouts or just blaming work or something else. But then when I actually saw myself clearly, I'm like, okay, this is not sustainable, not healthy. I have to change. So I did the 75 hard challenge, and
Yeah.
now it's a huge difference.
Hmm.
So whatever you said, I mean, seriously, congratulations. I know that it takes a lot to face your fears and just those doubts in your head and then follow a routine. So my next question to you, Raji, is going to be, you are an entrepreneur, you are a personal trainer, a coach, you do so many things. You are into mental health awareness and holistic wellness, everything. What fuels you?
Well, honestly, that's first of all, I wanted to say congratulations on doing the 75 hard. When I was actually scrolling through your page, doing my own little bit research on you, I was so proud of you. That's amazing. Like 75 days consistently. That's basically what I take from that challenge. A lot of people always ask me how I feel about that challenge. I'm like, hey, as long as you take that challenge and continue it for the whole year, it doesn't have to be 75 days hard. But what I take from that challenge is consistency and dedication, doing it when you don't want to. So first of all,
So
kudos to you
true.
because that's really,
Thank
really
you.
hard. And I'm super proud of you. But kind of reeling back to the question, what fuels me? Honestly, that's a question that goes straight to the core of my being. For me, it's the passion to make a positive difference in the lives of others, whether it's through my work as a fitness professional, my interactions with friends and family, or the content I create for my online audience. The driving force behind everything I do is the desire to inspire and uplift. So every time I see someone transform their lives through fitness, it honestly reignites my passion. It reminds me of the incredible impact we can have on each other when we choose to support and encourage one another. On a more personal level, the pursuit of growth and self improvement is a constant source of motivation. I'm always seeking to learn, to evolve, and to challenge myself. So, in essence, what fuels me is the belief that we all have the power to create positive change in our lives and the world around us.
Yeah, yeah, that is so true. I mean, it shows whenever I look at your posts or your stories or everything, that passion and that drive that you have to help others be their better version of themselves. And that's what all this podcast is about. The first time when I decided on a topic, I'm like, what am I going to do? I just want people to get inspired by,
That's perfect. It's beautiful. That's great.
yeah,
Just making a positive impact, you know? Like even the
And
name of your podcast, my husband was like, "Hey, what's the name of it?" It's like it's called the Itch and Scratcher. He's like, "Oh, that's so cute." I'm like, "I know, it's such a good name." So
yeah,
honestly, I'm proud of you as well for taking that step to inspire others, right?
thank you.
It's you never know who you're inspiring. Other people are inspiring you.
Exactly.
It's literally it's a full circle, right?
Exactly. It's so true. So my next question. Again, I'm a little, very selfish when it comes to this question,
Yeah.
and I had my own motive, but I'm pretty sure everybody who's listening to this would benefit from it. With COVID, after COVID, most of the jobs are now remote. Some of them require employees to be there twice a week. So, someone who has a very rigid work life from 9 to 5, and then maybe kids at home, pets, whatever, and then other responsibilities, what do you suggest these kind of people do to incorporate working out in their life or in just their regular day in 24 hours?
Well, honestly, for someone with a busy work life, fitting in workouts definitely can be challenging. I get it 100%. I'm very, very busy myself. I see other people very busy. I work with other busy professionals. However, it's not impossible, right? So all you got to do is a bit of planning and be committed. So I do have a few recommendations. My number one would be schedule in your workouts. So really treat them like important appointments, like a non-negotiable. Block off a specific time in your calendar for exercise, whether it's before work, during lunch break, or even after work. Number two, another recommendation is optimize your time. So focus on efficient workouts that provide maximum benefit in a short amount of time. So if you're short on time, I recommend my clients, they could do HIIT training, circuit training, or even a quick 20-minute jog when the weather is nice. It really can be effective. Lastly, I always say prioritize self-care. So remember that exercise is just not about physical health, but it's also about your mental well-being too, right? So keeping all that in mind, consistency is key. Even short workouts or bursts of activities and movement throughout the day can add up to significant health benefits. So the most important thing is to find a routine that works best for your schedule and lifestyle and just stick with it.
Those are some amazing points. Yes.
Thank you.
I mean,
Yeah.
scheduling a workout, I know that I think that's the mistake that most of us do is that we don't treat working out as one
Yeah.
of the important things that we should be doing, like having
Yeah.
breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Yeah,
I that's what I say. I'm like, hey, do you brush your teeth every day? Do you go to work every day? Do you walk your dog? Why is not did you get movement in every day, right? And a lot of people think walking is movement, which it is great. It 100% is. But it should be an additional add-on to an physical activity that you're doing, right? So it could be yoga, it could be swimming, it could be strength training, resistance training, but you should be getting daily 20 to 30 minutes of movement in, plus
yeah,
additional walking, right? So just make it like, hey, I have to do it, and that's just how it is.
yeah, that's awesome. Those are some amazing points, Raji.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
No
Um,
worries.
you mentioned that it is important for mental health too. So my question to you is going to be: you, as a very busy entrepreneur and a personal coach, your calendar must be filled all day, and then you have your business stuff, the operations, everything, and then you have your social media. How do you handle or how do you prioritize your mental well-being?
Let me tell you a secret. I'm a superhero. No, I'm joking.
Yeah,
I'm a superhero. No,
I
no, no.
wouldn't doubt
I
it.
have
I
body
think you
doubles.
are.
Could you imagine? I have body doubles. No. Honestly, I try to find balance between managing my business and taking care of my mental health. So over time, I've developed tools and strategies that have been incredibly helpful for me. So I'm going to share them for anybody that's kind of going through the same thing, has the same busy lifestyle. So number one is setting clear boundaries. Establishing clear boundaries between work and personal life helps me maintain a healthy balance. On Sundays, I don't do any work related to the gym or social media. That's my day, whatever it is. It's family, friends, activities. I just cultivate, I separate that time. So just kind of, setting those boundaries. Number two, I prioritize self-care. I've mentioned this before and I will keep repeating it like a broken record because it's so important. Making self-care a priority, it's non-negotiable. This includes getting enough sleep, eating well, exercising regularly, and doing activities that just bring you joy, relaxation, and just make you happy, right? Lastly, I do a lot of regular self reflection, and this has really been a game changer for me as well over the past few years. just checking in with myself regularly to assess how I'm feeling, both mentally and emotionally. It really allows you to make adjustments as needed. So finding the right balance between business and mental health is honestly an ongoing journey. I'm still learning, but some of these strategies have helped me navigate these challenges. So I hope they can be helpful for all the users that are listening out there and for yourself.
Yeah, that's such a good thing. Like some days, nothing,
Yes,
and just
no work.
prioritizing it for
Yes.
yourself. That
Honestly,
is nice.
it took us a long time. When we first opened up this personal training studio, we took 2 years where we worked 7 days straight. And then I told my husband, I'm like, hey, like we only took 5 days off last year because like for weddings or something. And he's like, that's intense. So I'm like, okay, no more. We're taking Sundays off
Yeah.
because it does get a lot. Like when you're an entrepreneur, you're working 24 hours if you can, if you need, right? Like, because there's always something to do. You wear all hats in the business, especially as a small business. You know, we're literally wearing all hats, all the roles. So just kind of setting that day to yourself to kind of rejuvenate, refresh yourself, and just kind of getting ready for the week ahead. It's quite crucial and it made a big difference. And as soon as I saw that difference, I was burning out less. I was more efficient during the week. I was happier, more rejuvenated. I was like, hey, this is something we have to implement. And ever since then, we've been just doing that one day off and no work, no emails, nothing that day.
Nice. That
Yeah,
sounds fun. That is so cool.
yeah,
So you mentioned about this personal training studio that you guys have in Mississauga, right? Raw
yes.
Fitness.
Raw
So
fitness, yeah.
what's in future for Raw Fitness?
As we look into the future of raw fitness, I truly see a dynamic evolution in the fitness industry that we're excited to be a part of. We are excited to actually share that we are opening up a bigger facility at the beginning of
Wow.
July. Yeah, thank you. This is
Congratulations.
actually the first time we're announcing it. So you're literally getting the tea
Woohoo.
piping hot right now. We currently are a private training facility, which focuses on personal training and a little bit of group classes. However, we will be expanding to a facility that's actually 10 times larger than our current location. And
Wow.
we'll be offering numerous services such as monthly memberships, personal training group classes, sauna, cold plunge, and much more. Stay tuned.
Nice.
So yeah, we are actually really excited for that.
Wow, more responsibility. I should come
More.
looking for your superhero cape the next time I'm gonna meet you.
Yeah. Honestly, me and my husband were like, are we crazy? And we're like, yeah, we are crazy. But honestly, we're me and my husband have had this dream for over 9 years at this point. Ever since we met, we always are like, hey, we want to open up a gym. We want to provide a space for people to feel comfortable. Like a lot of females come to me even at this facility because they're like, hey, I feel safe here. I don't feel judged, you know? So
Wow.
we've always wanted to provide that aesthetic pleasing place where you come in and you feel like it's a brand new, you've just walked into a wellness center. That's the kind of gym facility that we kind of want to provide to people. It's a lighthouse. You come in and you
Yes.
just forget all your worries and you just, focus on yourself. So it's really exciting that we're working towards our future and goals, even if it's more responsibilities, just to make a positive impact, getting that chance to make a positive impact on more people. It's a beautiful thing. So yeah.
Look at you guys. You guys are like the hashtag power couple and then
No.
goals.
Yeah,
That's so
we're
cool.
okay. Thank you.
That's so nice. Well, I'm
Yeah.
so happy. Congratulations, Raji. And
Thank
I'm
you.
very honored that you used our show as the first platform to
No
announce the new
worries.
facility. I'm definitely 100% sure that you're going to kill it, both you and your
Oh,
husband.
thank you so much.
And I look forward to all the amazing updates in the future.
Thank you so
Before
much.
we end, I do have one last question for you.
Okay.
What's your favorite exercise and why?
Okay, my favorite exercise is the pull-up. And the reason is because everybody's gonna be like,
No.
no. Was it supposed to be a fun answer?
I know, I
I should
know.
have said like, dead fish out of water, which is like a yoga pose. No, honestly, the reason the pull up is one of my favorite is because it brings me back to the reason why I started. When I first started, I really just had one goal. I was like, hey, like I'm so thin. I was bullied my entire life for being skinny, and like I don't like using that term, but that's what it is. And when I first went to the gym, I saw this one female and she was like doing pull-ups and she was like really fit. I'm like, wow, like I want to be like her. And so that was always my goal originally. Like, hey, I want to gain upper body strength. I want to not just look strong. I want to be strong.
Yes.
So that's why for even, after 6 months of consistency, I was able to do pull-ups, and now, I'm luckily able to bang out a few, but it's always touched home for me. Like, hey, this was something you couldn't do. You
Yes.
worked hard at it and you got it done. And that really, it really equals to what life is. Input equals output. Whatever you put into your life, that's exactly what you're going to get. Same thing for fitness. Whatever you put in, those are the results you're going to get. So that is one of my favorite exercises. How about you? What's your favorite exercise?
The least favorite one is pull up, that's for sure.
Hey, you gotta practice. You gotta practice, and you'll start loving
No, I'm
it.
telling you, I struggled. It's been almost like 2 years. I cannot even do one, like two pull-ups. One, maybe, yes, I can manage. I know
Yeah,
everyone's been talking about negative pull-ups and then just the
pushing
form
your
and the way
body up.
you
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
No.
Have you tried with the band? Have you tried with the pull-up assistant machine?
The assistant, yes. The
Yeah.
assisted
So
pull-ups,
put it
yes.
on.
But,
So a lot of people use that machine wrong. You want to do like very less amount, like a very less weight. So a lot of people put it to their body weight. So for
right.
example, set it to about 20 to 30 because that machine is really what helped me. I used to bang out about like 15, 20 a day. And then eventually I did do the negative. Like I would jump up and slowly fall down. But just stay consistent. I promise you, you'll get it. But like, keep practicing, practice with bands, then a less resistant band, then a small, and you'll eventually get there. I promise.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
You made it sound so simple.
There you go. You'll get it.
But
Hey,
okay,
when you get your first pull up, I want you to tag me, okay?
definitely. All the
I
credit
will be
goes to
cheering you on. I'll be like,
you.
yay. Oh, that's awesome.
No man, you put me on the spot. Now I have to literally push myself and make sure
Yes.
that I get a pull up at least
But
one.
honestly, setting those fitness goals, like small fitness goals, really helps because a lot of people focus on the number on the machine, which, you know, working out for sure. For some people, it is about losing weight. For a lot of people, it's not about losing weight, right? So for
Right.
them, they need non-skill victories. So
Yep.
you need a goal. Like, hey, I want to do a push-up. I want to do a pull-up. I want to be able to squat, my body weight or 1.5 times my body weight. So when you set those goals and you achieve them, which you will, because if you stay consistent, you will achieve them. I believe in everybody that they will get there.
Oh,
Once you get there, you will feel so good. And that feeling, you'll remember every time that you're feeling negative or down, remind yourself of that feeling and that non-skill victory.
yep.
And yeah,
Well, this was so great. Thank you
thank
so
you.
much, Raji.
Thank
It
you so
was
much for having
amazing.
me. Honestly, it was really nice speaking to you. This is actually one of my first podcasts to
Oh,
do. So thank you.
yay!
Yeah. Thank you. And then I was like, you
No,
know
you're
what? I
awesome.
had
You're
like
awesome.
like imposter syndrome for the longest time. But you definitely seemed you made me feel comfortable. So I really appreciate that. And thank you for allowing this platform to bring me on.
Yeah.
And I really wish the best for you. And we will definitely stay in touch.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Raji. Again, really
Thank
honored to
you.
have you as a guest on the show. Thank
No worries.
you.
Anytime. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and thank you for watching this episode of the Itch and Scratch Show. As always, keep growing, keep glowing, and love yourself. This is your host, Shikha Singh, signing off. Bye bye.